welcome to episode 91 of Top Rope Reality. This big Super Bowl week. It's Super Bowl weekend. Who you got? Carolina? Denver? I know, you don't like football.
I hate football.
I don't have a dog in the hunt, so it really don't matter. I'm just looking for the commercials.
They say that the...
How about this puppy monkey baby?
I don't care about puppy monkey baby. What I'm trying to tell you, though, is from what I've understood, from what I have heard...
What have you heard?
They will have the Captain America Civil War, another preview for it.
Of course, it's Super Bowl. Of course.
Big preview for it. So,
of course.
And of course, you know, they'll probably have a Budweiser with the horse and the dog and being friends. And
always do.
So
Swine Mountain Dew with their puppy monkey baby.
I don't know what that is.
They cover all the bases because people love puppies. People love monkeys and people love babies, and that's what we need to hear. We need to get some puppies, some monkeys, some babies. Maybe help us a little bit.
If we bring puppies in here, we're going to have a fight because we got too many cats.
Well, Indy cat, I don't understand.
No.
Well, let's start off with some...
very bad news.
Yes, it is bad news, but it could be also turn out good if he's caught early. Bret Hart has... he come on Facebook that he was diagnosed with prostate cancer, which, you know, to get checked, you need to get checked. Have you been checked? You ain't old enough yet.
Nearly as old as
when
you.
You get old enough, get checked. You have to get checked.
Have you been checked?
I've been checked.
But that was fun.
Not fun. You're going to crawl up in the fetal position and cry when you get done. But hey, it has to be done. Get done. If you get checked early, like Bret, I think Bret will be okay.
Just saying, just on the prostate situation, yes. I'm just trying to say that there's so many advances in medicine. Well, why they got to go like mess with your poop?
They don't anymore.
What?
First time I got checked, had to do it. Next time I got checked, they did some tests. They can do blood work to find out and get the same results. And then you got to go.
Really?
Yep, that's what the doctor said. And I said, "Woo, thank you, doc."
They figured out how blood work could tell you. Now.
Yep. They said they done test, and you get the same results with going with the finger or doing the blood work.
About time.
Yeah, I know.
Because I mean, how weird is that, right?
Yes.
Nobody wants that situation.
But we haven't heard anything else about Bret.
Especially if they were, you know, if the doctor was in football and he's got a big ring.
Yes.
You know,
So you want a woman? Small fingers. But I don't have a woman doctor.
But yes, he did have surgery this past week with the hope of defeating the cancer once and for all. And also, on top of this, you know, the one guy that apparently, maybe he's just upset. Maybe he's sad right now because he said we need to, what was the word for it? We need to, the whole Hart family, when it comes to the Hall of Fame, needs to protest. And that is Smith Hart.
No, Smith. Yeah,
Smith said that. But guess what? Smith also has cancer.
In his hip, I know. I saw that.
They said it's spread and he is in a lot of pain.
Yeah, he may not be too good on it. Once it starts spreading, you're in trouble.
When you eat your bones and stuff, just definitely not a good thing.
But maybe we'll have more information next week on episode 92 about Bret.
NXT Champion Finn Balor suffering an injury on Friday night. Balor suffered a slightly sprained ankle. He will be reevaluated at the Performance Center on Monday.
A lot of people now are starting off, I've seen it a couple of times now, it's called the Daniel Bryan curse.
Oh, wow.
Ever since they haven't brought him back, there's people falling off, like, everything, injuries.
So you're saying they should bring him back so they'll quit losing
Yes,
everybody?
I believe so. Because he's clear to go. Bring him back. He's cut his hair. He's cut his beard now.
I was hoping that was not an updated picture. I'm like, why did he get rid of all that?
It looks better. Well, if you're not going to work for the WWE, might as well change your look.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, because he was looking like a mountain man, so I guess he decided to change it so he look a little bit more presentable. And plus,
they're going to bring you back. If they keep wanting to do everything else but what you want to do, I don't blame him.
Right. Also, TNA champion.
Yeah.
The tag team champion suffers an injury. Davey Richards of the Wolves suffered a knee injury. This ain't the first time that when they were tag team champions, one of them was injured. And I think it was Davey Richards. And they had to give up the belts then, too.
Yep. Which, if you haven't seen if it happened yet, spoiler alert.
Oh, I didn't know it happened, so.
Yes, Beer Money is the new tag team champions.
Oh, see, I haven't seen that. I wasn't trying to give away. I'm talking about the last time the Wolves did that.
Well, this time now. Spoiler alert.
Sorry about that, but anyway.
There's only two teams, so hey, come on.
Exactly. The Decay. And now, since they're hurt, it's the Decay and it's the Wolves. I mean,
Beer Money.
Beer Money, that's it.
It should be the Decay and Beer Money now since the Wolves are out.
Pretty sad. CM Punk's first UFC opponent confirmed.
Finally,
UFC fighter.
after 3 years, I think.
Yeah, because he had to fight somebody to earn the right, which to me is wrong, because CM Punk has no wherewithal in UFC. He has no, hey, I'm 12-0 or nothing like that. So why do you have to earn the right to fight CM Punk? CM Punk should have to earn the right to fight people.
Phil Brooks. Sorry.
Anyway, but that's not. See, to me, that's stupid.
It is.
So Mickey Gale, this UFC fighter who has earned the right, should not have had to fight someone to say, "Hey, if I beat you, I'll get to beat CM Punk." He should have just got the fight.
Well, he beat him, and Punk was at cage side,
yes.
and he said, "Scream, feed me, Punk." So,
yeah.
I mean, this could be very ugly. I'm not ordering it, but I will.
No. Well, hey, it's
but
always
hopefully
after the pay-per-view. All those like fights and stuff are always on YouTube.
It is, and it'll be on there. Trust me, that people will get it on there. It'll be on WrestleZone. It'll be on whatever.
Yes.
Because especially either way, if he wins or if he gets destroyed, it'll be on there.
And I'm just saying, I know this sounds bad, but I hope he gets destroyed because he's being really, really like a butt lately.
Lately.
I mean, come on, the man, like at the interview thing, has been told he can no longer speak to CM Punk because he asked him wrestling-related questions.
I wasn't going to bring that up.
I am, because it's ignorance.
It is.
Who cares? You have not made a way for yourself in UFC yet, so they don't have UFC questions for you. No. They have WWE questions for you.
That's who you've been training with. That's
it. And then, that's a quick interview because you haven't proven yourself yet. So they want to talk about where you have proven yourself at. It's part of who you are. You have been around. You went there and accomplished everything you wanted to accomplish, besides the fact you didn't get to main event WrestleMania. But guess what? That's good for you, but you can't sit there and get angry about the past. Just daggone answer the questions and move on.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, I'm starting to wonder if he's got roid rage. My gosh, getting upset like that.
It was stupid. You're right. I mean, if you didn't want to do the interview in the first place,
just don't do the interview. And this is big time because you got to fire people to hire people, ladies and gentlemen.
You do. You have to cut budget. 5
total names will come from NXT. We're talking about Bullfit, which his shirts will now be on sale, so I'll probably get one. Bull Dempsey.
Yes.
Sylvester Lafort.
Yeah.
Marcus Louis, which the two of them were a tag team, correct?
They were first manager,
and
then they turned a tag team, and then they went back to being against each other because Marcus lost all his hair.
He lost all his hair because
Sylvester lost all his hair.
Yes, and he ran away though.
Yes, and then they kind of disappeared off the face of the earth.
They did.
Marcus kind of a little bit got beat up every time he was back.
Right.
And Sylvester hardly ever. So I'm not surprised by this.
Sylvester Lafort was being a manager on the NXT live events for one of the females, which would be a different dynamic for a man to be a manager for a woman.
Yeah.
But they were working on that for the live events, and I guess they just felt like they weren't going to pull the trigger on that. But like Marcus Louis, he was actually one of the trainers, not like big time like Billy Gunn and Booker T, but he was one of the helpers for Tough Enough. He was doing a lot of their in-ring training for them because, Booker T and Billy Gunn and Lee, they would stand at ringside. They wouldn't actually get in the ring with you. But like Marcus Louis, Jason Jordan, and Dana Brooke would get in the ring with these Tough Enough people. Mm-hmm. And they would actually do the drills and stuff because they're younger and everything. Right. And I thought, well, that's a good sign for him. They're having him on there. Because, look, ever since Tough Enough, Jason Jordan, skyrocket. Dana Brooke, skyrocket. And Marcus Louis, nothing. Somebody said, he looks kind of like Kane. It's only the eyebrows. It's just because he had no eyebrows, people. Because of the whole... worse for no eyebrows. I mean, come on, people. But and then Magno, which is Oscar Valsquez.
Yeah.
He never debuted in NXT. No. He did a few live events, but he was a masked wrestler. And I guess they just never wanted to pull the trigger on a new masked wrestler. They were always talking about, we need Mexican stars. Well, there was one, and they got rid of him. And he already had a mask and everything.
And Peter Howard.
Who in the world?
So, I have no clue.
From what I read, he was a rugby player.
He can go back to rugby because he is definitely
he is done for there.
He's done for now.
But when you gotta hire people like Nakamura and Lou Gallows and Carl Anderson
and Austin Aries,
exactly,
and whoever else is coming down the pike,
because that's 4 people in NXT. So if there's one more, then that means their salaries is going to pay them other people's salaries.
Yeah, and Bull Dempsey's already being.
He's already on, which is now the people used to do is Pat Buck. He used to do Pro Wrestling Syndicate. Mm-hmm. Something happened where there's a falling out with Pro Wrestling Syndicate. So now Pat Buck has left Pro Wrestling Syndicate along with most of their main roster.
Jeez.
And left the other co-promoter by himself with like no roster, and he has now started Wrestle Pro, brought to you by Create a Pro Wrestler, which Create a Pro is Brian Myers, which used to be Kurt Hawkins. He is the trainer. Exactly. It all goes together. Kurt Hawkins used to be, in WWE, and now he owns his own facility called Creative Pro. So Creative Pro is basically the sponsor child, the training facility for WrestlePro. And so they've already picked up on on Bull Dempsey.
Or Bull James is being called out.
See, and I don't like that because the initials are not good. He could be.
No, it's not. But he needs to be a cowboy, I'm sorry. He needs to be like Black Bart.
But,
these tights he's wearing, no. Sorry.
Okay, you could be James Dempsey. That sounds better than Bull James. And there was another version of it I came up with, and I can't remember what it was, but it sounded a whole lot better than Bull James. His real name is like James Smith or something like that. I think is what it is. Mm-hmm. Something like that. But anyway, so it the initial is S, so it'd be BS. Better than BJ. I'm just saying.
That's Whitmore from Ring of Honor.
Yes, that's true.
Yes.
I almost forgot we were talking about that. But anyway, also this next person may get picked up for WrestlePro. I wouldn't be surprised. Awesome Kong sent home from TNA's current UK tour after a backstage altercation with Matt Hardy's wife, Ruby Sky, also known as Rebecca Hardy, and then released.
Oh yeah,
she confirmed it on her Twitter.
Oh, the guy from the big dude from
John Gavork.
Yes, he
confirmed it.
He confirmed it on Twitter. And then
Awesome Kong said, "Well, time to move on to other things."
Could be coming to the WWE. Wouldn't be surprised.
I'm just saying. I don't see them. I don't see them taking the risk of that bad publicity. I really don't.
I don't think it's bad.
They already have. Yes, it is. She tried to kill a woman. She literally attacked her. They had to pull her off of Ruby Sky.
Well, Ruby Sky should have done something.
Apparently, this was an issue that they had between each other from years ago. Okay? It's called Quit Being a Bunch of Whiny Women and Send All Your Hate Mail to Mike Hogan at gmail.com. They're being whiny women because if it was a couple of years ago or a couple of months ago, guess what? Be grown-ups. Move on from it. Especially with the fact that they said her child was in the same vicinity that this altercation happened. That's inappropriate. That's rude. That's wrong.
It's hard for us to say because we wasn't there.
I don't care. I'm telling you right now, you don't attack someone like that. If you got a problem, you need to sit down with John Gavork, Dixie Carter,
well, they should have
and they should all talk to
They should have knew about it to begin with.
Absolutely. John Gavork and Dixie should have done their homework and said, okay,
don't put them together if you know they had some trouble.
Oh, okay. Matt Hardy, give him his own dressing room with his wife and child in it. And give them their own dressing room. Don't put her with the other women if that's an issue. Okay, great. Now
and she's been there for a while. It's not like it was the first time they were together.
Right, but they apparently, according to what I read, she was not dressing with the other women when they're then they did the other tapings. The first time since she was in TNA that she dressed with the other women was at the UK tour. So that's the first time her and Kong were near each other since their past issues. So
no, it's just more Awesome Kong to be blamed for that because
it takes
two to tango, and also if anybody else is in there, hey, you should say, oh, these two need to,
I mean, because from what I read was that she flipped out at her, screaming and hollering at her, took her bags and threw it out the door. Then Ruby went off to talk to somebody, probably John Gavork or somebody, to explain what the heck is going on. And then when she comes back in there, Daggum Awesome Kong comes in there and tries to attack her, and they said that Pat Kenny, which was Simon Diamond, literally had to pull Awesome Kong, which probably took more than just him, had to pull Awesome Kong off of her. They said that she was actually trying to choke the woman. So I'm sorry. When there's you can yell and scream at each other all you want. That's one thing. When there's a physical altercation involved, then you know what? That person who attacked has gone too far. Them two women could yell at each other all day. But once Awesome Kong got up to physically attack her, Awesome Kong went too far.
Well, like I said, she got released.
She did. And she took it like a champ, apparently, because she didn't say anything bad on Twitter. She just said, time to move on. And I had a lot of fun with my last run in TNA, and time to move on to other things. I mean, she may have other career options that are out there that's not just, wrestling. So You never know what the other things are. Also, this other thing, I'm quite interested in this. Somebody said this might be a bad thing, though. But there's rumors on a network show for WWE Network focusing on cruiserweights. There's a lot of smaller guys nowadays because they don't want to do the whole hey, look, he looks like he's on steroids, that type of thing.
Right.
I like that. I'm okay with that. But somebody was saying that, basically it's a bad thing as well, because then you pigeonhole them into, oh, well, they're so small, they shouldn't be at this upper level here. And so, but if the company echelon, the people up at the top offices, don't look at it that way, then it shouldn't have a problem, because the fans don't look at it that way. Look at Rey Mysterio. He was champion more than once, and they were excited about it. The fans liked it. It's not that the fans look at it like the little guys can't win it.
Right.
It's the WWE. That's how they pigeonhole them. But, I mean, you got so many guys. You got Tyler Breeze, you got Dolph Ziggler, you got AJ Styles, you got Neville, you got Kalisto, you got Sin Cara, you got guys down like Austin Aries. You got so many, and the list goes on, really and truly. But you got all those smaller guys. You got the R-Truth, you got the Kofis, you got the Xavier Woods, all these smaller frame people that could be focused on this. And it doesn't have to be just about wrestling.
That's true.
Yeah, I mean, it could just be focusing on, their trials and tribulations of moving up in the world and what's considered a big man sport. Stuff like that.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it would work. I would enjoy it, too.
Yes. Something different, people. There's nothing wrong with different. Like, no. I don't know if you saw Ride Along yet, but it was actually interesting.
I have seen Ride Along.
I thought it was fun. I thought Big E was going to split himself in half. Couldn't get out of the car after he did it. He was like, I'm just trying to stretch.
That's funny. That was real funny.
And then Xavier wanted Kofi to roll the window up. Kofi, I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it.
I think Xavier's game system falling out on the ground.
He did. He said at this show, he said, if this is broke, F this show.
He did.
He was mad. They had to bleep him out. He was so upset. And Kofi's like, I'm sorry. It landed on my foot, but I moved it was going to land on my foot, but I moved it. Yes. So he did not sacrifice his foot for the betterment of the game system.
And I guess it didn't break because we never hear anything about it, but still.
That's true. But I thought that was hilarious. And then, Miz and Dolph talk. I mean, they're not as funny as the three of them. New Day. But it was still an interesting episode. And it looks like one of the episodes is going to be Summer Rae, Renee Young, and R-Truth in the back.
Which is very weird.
I think what it is he happens to just happen to be in the car with him, because she's like, well, you're lucky today. You get to ride with us today. Yeah. So it may just be how the seating arrangements were done.
Yeah,
and maybe they just thought that would be a good dynamic for the show.
Then we got...
who else?
Wade Barrett and Sheamus, and none of them have a driver's license, which is funny.
Neither one have a driver's license.
That's what it says. That's what he says.
Whoa! Don't put that on film, baby.
Yeah, because that's already been a promo already.
Oh, you're gonna get yourself in trouble.
And then,
very sad news.
Some sad news, which right now it's not confirmed, but it was said to be an overdose. It's suspected.
Right, suspected, because his mother said that she felt like his demons finally got to him. But they did say where he was, because they said two different things. He was found in his hotel. He was found in a car in near McDonald's. And they're saying that the hotel was incorrect. That he was in the car, and that according to police, there was no drugs found in the car.
Well, that's good.
So, if there's no, powder substance or pill bottles or nothing like that, then maybe that's a good thing. Maybe it wasn't that,
But the autopsy will tell the tale. But.
It will, but sounded like, I think what I read is they said he had cardiac arrest or whatever. Which
he's a big boy.
Cardiac arrest could come from the years past. Like, that's what happened to Eddie. It was so many years of abuse. People, yeah. Just like Boss Man, Rick Rude, all them, they had cardiac arrest, but it was from years of abuse that eventually led up to that, even if they weren't doing it at that point in time. It happens. But, I mean, there's no sense in, I know one of the wrestlers I have on Facebook said, don't message me and don't comment to me asking what happened to, who we're talking about is Axel Rodden. Don't do that to me, because I'm not going to speculate on how he passed away. I know how he passed away, and I'm not going to go, he said I want to focus on their life, not on how they went out.
Right.
And if it was an overdose or if it was a suicide or anything like that, so much negative in this world, don't focus on the negative.
Right.
He had a good career. He had a good life. He made a lot of friends. A lot of people had a lot of great things to say about him when he did pass away. And even, I will say this before we wrap up, Simon Dean, I have him on Facebook, Mike Bucci, B-U-C-C-I, something like that. But anyway, he now works for, I believe, Wells Fargo or something. He's like a branch manager and stuff. He has moved on in the world. He's doing well for himself. And he said that seeing a situation like Axel Rotten pass away reminds him of how excited he is and how happy he is that today's generation in the WWE, they don't have those vices. And what he's saying is everybody gets all upset and says, oh, today's generation WWE, they don't understand because all they ever do is they play their video games and they're on Twitter and they're on Vine and they're on Facebook. And he said, you know what? Keep playing your video games. Because if that's what takes your time up when you're on the road, I'd much rather you play video games than be snorting something.
Yeah.
And that, I mean, that's why, like, why do people get upset by that? Okay, they're playing video games. They could be doing a whole lot worse. You know what I'm saying?
And dropping dead at 38.
Thank you. So hopefully this generation of people that enter the WWE last a lot longer because they're not worried about those vices. They're just having fun. They're playing video games. They're on Vine and they're on Twitter and they're making stupid videos and they're, you know, all that stuff. I don't understand why people got to flip out about them playing video games. It's not that big of a deal.
People do.
It's weird. But anyway.
It's not the Attitude Era.
That's right.
When people are dropping dead.
From the Attitude Era.
Yes.
Thank you. But this is part 1 Ringside News, and up next, part 2 is the pay-per-view review, WrestleMania 5, 6, 7, and 8. So we will be right back.
Now look at you didn't get with the Roman numerals.
That's because I know what V is. I know V is 5, so I can just keep going from there.
And that is it for part 1. I'm Mike Hogan.
And I'm just a kid.
We'll see in a few clicks for part 2 right here at Top Row Reality on the YouTube.
The YouTube. Not on Facebook, but the YouTube.
Not on Facebook. Not yet.
Not yet.